already renewed for seasons 2 and 3 ahead of the first episode even premiering. So Fox obviously standing behind Krapopolis. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the new Fox Animation Domination series, Krapopolis. This is, of course, on Sunday nights as part of their Animation Domination block, which includes The Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers. I don't know if The Great North is still on, but in any event, like I said up front, this has already been renewed for a second and third season before one episode even premiered of this show. So, which is interesting because a lot of the animation domination stuff lately has only lasted a season or maybe two. You had like Housebroken and Bless the Hearts. So I don't know, but obviously they've got a lot of faith in this show, and it was created by Dan Harmon, who brought us Rick and Morty and Community, a lot of these shows that are, very culty and popular, in that regard. So maybe that helped in renewing this. But in any event, before I tell you about the show, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We do movie and TV reviews here, and I try to post something new just about every day, so always some good stuff to check out. You can subscribe down below. Would love to have you there. Hit that notification bell to get alerts for when I drop all my new videos. And I've reviewed a lot of the recent adult animated stuff, Fired on Mars on HBO Max, I guess that's called Max now, Digman on Comedy Central, there's been a handful, Agent Elvis on Netflix, so yeah, you can check out those in a playlist of my 2023 TV reviews on the homepage if you're interested. But all right, let's talk about Krapopolis. So this is based in ancient Greece, as the title may allude you to, and it centers on this, flawed family of humans and gods and monsters trying to sort of run the world's first city, I guess, without, killing each other and killing the city. Richard Ayoade is Tyrannus, who is the main protagonist here. He is the demigod king of Krapopolis, and you've known him from many, many things over the years. I think What We Do in the Shadows maybe is one of his most famous, but you've definitely seen him or heard him. Matt Berry is Tyrannus' father, and I think the real reason to tune in for this, the best part of this show, Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso, she plays Deliria, who is mother to Tyrannus and a few other characters. There's also a great recurring and guest star cast on the show. In fact, so I watched the first three, all that have aired so far, and I just saw a commercial that Ben Stiller's going to be on next week's episode. But you've got, I don't even want to list all the guest voices because it's fun to kind of pick them out, but some of the ones that you may know from other Dan Harmon series do appear here. Look, I'll be honest, this has gotten a little bit slammed by the critics, but I actually think it's one of the better offerings on animation domination lately. I did like the Great North. I reviewed that when it first came out. I haven't kept up with it, but I enjoyed that one. The other ones, Housebroken, I did not care for. Bless the Hearts, I thought was quite bad. Most of the entries in that field, I just don't love. I think animation for adults is tough because, and I talk about this all the time, it's you want to kind of lean into that. We can swear, we can, especially if it's on like a streamer, we can do all these naughty things, and that's the joke. But here, because it's Fox, you can't do everything that you'd want to maybe do in an animated adult series. So with that, they have to be a little more clever with their jokes. And I do believe that this show has that sensibility. I'm not saying that it is an A-tier show. I think it's got a little ways to go to kind of get to that great status that would result in, okay, I can see this being on for several seasons, because right now it's leaning in a little bit heavy in these first few episodes to the joke being like, okay, this didn't exist in ancient Greece, so now, I think it was episode 2 maybe, they go to an event at the Coliseum, and there's these two guys who are talking like sportscasters would and kind of color commentating the game, and it's very funny, but then they're like, oh, this is just how we talk. And it's that idea of like, okay, this didn't exist yet, so these people are going to be the first ones to do it, and that's like the joke. I can take or leave stuff like that. I mean, the '70s show, when that first came on Fox in the '90s, was rife with that kind of stuff. Like the first half a season, it was just, oh, here's the reference, and that's the joke. I think if this show can kind of veer a little bit away from that, we can get down to some of the more humorous elements, because I would like to get to know these characters a little bit more. But look, Hannah Waddingham steals the show. I think this will be a surprise to nobody who watches Ted Lasso. I think, and I didn't know her before Ted Lasso. I'll be honest. I know she's done a bunch of stuff in other countries, in England and stuff, but I was unfamiliar with her until Ted Lasso, and I'm a huge fan now. Everything she does, I'm like, okay, let's check it out. Her voice work here is excellent. It's the best in the cast, I would say. But the guest stars are fun, certainly. In that vein. But I would like to get to know these characters a little bit more, rather than just, okay, here's the reference to something. But look, it does remind me of the Flintstones a little bit, in the regard that they're making references to things that obviously did not exist in that era, and they're making it sort of current for the present day, which for the Flintstones was the '60s. For us, of course, is 2020s. But look, I think this show has a lot of potential. I don't quite understand all the hate from critics and audiences. Real audiences are not loving this either. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes before I did the review, and I think both are in like the mid 50s. I certainly think it's better than that, and I think it's a nice, welcome addition to that animation domination block, because it does have the same sensibility as some of those other shows. And looks wise, it's fine. It's clearly 2D, or looks like 2D hand drawn animation. I'm sure it's CGI, but made to look that way. But yeah, overall, I think this has a okay start. It's certainly got a lot of potential. I'd like to see them veer in some other directions and maybe build on the characters more. But for now, I leave Krapopolis with a B. And you can check that out Sunday nights on Fox on their animation domination block. Thanks for watching Dan Reviews It. We'll see you next time.